Hello there, good morning, and welcome to the morning cruise right here on Value Chain TV. It's an exciting morning. I'm excited already. I'm smiling, as you can see. I'm so excited to be here. We have a whole lot of amazing, insightful, informative, and also very interesting segments for you on today's episode of the morning cruise. My name is Mimena Bagudo, and as usual, I don't do this alone every morning. Come on. My co-host is here with me in the studio. Good morning, Patience.
Good morning, Mimi.
How are you doing today?
I'm very good.
Good to know.
Yes,
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You too.
How was your weekend?
It was restful.
Yes, it was great. Yeah.
Good.
Good morning, viewers. I hope you had a very lovely rest during the weekend. I am Moses Patience Chat, and today again in the show The Morning Cruise on Value Chain TV, we're going to be giving you, as Mimuna has said, lovely, interesting, and educative segments for you. So you sit back, enjoy, and relax.
You've heard it from our entertainment gist guru. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So, Patience, today is Monday, yeah, and we have a whole lot to discuss today on today's episode of the Morning Cruise. Starting off with the ministerial list. Today happens to be the inauguration of the newly appointed minister by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and also confirmed by the Senate. A whole lot of Nigerians have the expectations, lots of unanswered questions. I also do. I do have. Good, so I'm not alone on this. We have a whole lot of questions, surrounding the selected ministers, or rather the appointed ministers, and that's why we're having a public affairs analyst today on the morning cruise who will be analyzing some of these issues, particularly the selection of the FCT, or rather the appointment of the FCT minister in person of Nelson Wike, who happens to be the former governor of Rivers State. I believe, I have this feeling, that he's going to really perform well. Yes, he's really going to perform well. I hope so. I'm not putting my 100% expectations on him, but be that he was the former governor of Rivers State and going by all of the projects, he has done in the state. That's why he's called Mr. Project. He has done in the state, and Rivers people are really happy and excited that they had him as a governor, and he performed exceedingly well. And we're hoping he's going to bring that same energy into FCT, making sure that FCT becomes, a very good place to live. We're going to have a whole lot happening in FCT. Businesses will move. FCT will also, be able to generate huge income for the Nigeria economy sector. So these are things we're really hoping from, these ministers. But there's still, a comma. I would yes, I'll still put the comma. There's still a comma somewhere. Going by the person that was appointed as Minister for State Defense in person of Bello Matawale, who happens to be the former governor of Zamfara State. We all know that Zamfara State suffered a whole lot, starting with security. They had a lot of issues with security. People go to their farms and they don't come back home alive. People are in their houses and they cannot sleep peacefully because, they don't know what next is going to happen, who is going to attack them next. There are unpaid salaries, education, the educational sector in Zamfara State is nothing to write home about. Is it the health sector? A whole lot coming from that state. And we are having this same person being appointed as the Minister of Defense for state. So these are questions that Nigerians are really asking. Is this appointment that was given to this person, is it really, a very good appointment? Or is it appointed, was he appointed based on the fact that, the present president want to compensate him out of some We've heard a whole lot of things like
Lots,
that. When you
yes.
go on social media, you will see and you will read a lot of things, a lot of unanswered questions that Nigerians really want to find, get answers to these questions. We want to know, what is the fate of our security going to be? Okay, so we also have another appointed minister, Mohammed Badaru, who happens to be the former governor of Jigawa State, as Minister of Defense. Going by his portfolio, he had nothing to do with, there's no security upbringing. He was not in the military, neither was he, associated with any, paramilitary that will say, okay, fine. He has lots of experiences drawn from these places, and the appointment is really a good one. So these are questions that Nigerians really want to get
Get
answers
answers
to. So we're going to be discussing these, and also we'll be looking at the speculations going around concerning the increment of fuel price. Nigerians are asking, is this really true? Is it really going to come to pass? Because people are scared. People are not settled. Are you settled? Me, I'm not settled. I'm not settled, honestly. So these are questions that we need answers to, and we're not going to be doing this alone. We have a guest who is going to be with us today. He happens to be a public affairs analyst. Together, we'll be looking at this, topics, and then also we hit the streets. We want to find out from Nigerians, what do they think about this ministerial list, these ministers that were appointed and are currently being inaugurated. What do they expect from them? Will they really perform exceedingly well as the appointed ministers? So, what do you think?
That's a
Patience?
good one, Mimuna. Okay, like let me share a little experience of what Nigerians might be thinking.
Okay.
While I was coming to work this morning, so I
Mm.
was in a cab, and the man sitting next to me was so scared, and he was like, "We should get ready for Wiki. If Wiki becomes the minister of FCT, he was saying that we should be ready for demolition, and that he was going to demolish a lot of buildings. Remember, you said he's Mr. Project, so because to carry a project to do something, you have to probably bring down some existing structures.
Mhm.
So Nigerians are actually scared that that might happen again here in FCT. So like they are scared. What's going to be their fate? Are they going to lose their houses? Are they going to lose their shops, their estates? So that's a glimpse into what some of them are actually thinking.
Okay.
But for that, I just want us to accept that in good faith that when he comes, whatever he comes with, we should just accept and see that and hope that it's going to be positive and we're going to get a lot from him. Yes.
Okay, so we really hope so. We
Yeah.
really, really hope so. And I know Nigerians, these are part of the questions that we're talking about that
Mhm.
Nigerians
And the
really
fears
need
in their
answers.
hearts,
Of course,
yes.
of course. So, still on the morning cruise, we have entertainment gist, and today we want to see how the entertainment industry has been able to boost the Nigerian economy. It's really important. It's not just anticipating for movies to come out. Oh, we want to see this producer producing this movie, or we want to see the next album this artist will be releasing. Yes, they are all good, but what is in for the Nigerian economy? Coming together with the entertainment industry and
Economy.
the Nigerian economy.
Yes,
Thank you
that's
so much,
correct,
Patience,
yes.
for that.
And if you remember, just this month, no, last month, we discovered that the cinema has actually been generating a lot. But last month it actually dropped. So we are hoping to find out that okay, there's actually going to be an increase. The decrease is not going to be there again, and then the millions that cinema and every other part of the entertainment sectors have been generating is actually going to increase because entertainment is a very, very important aspect
Of course,
of
yes.
society. You
Of
cannot take away entertainment from the society.
Mhm.
So that's actually a good one. We're going
Yes.
to be
So
looking
that's why we don't really need to dwell only on petroleum, agriculture, and other sectors to help boost our economy. What happened to those days? I remember having local cinemas, film houses. They were called film houses. Of course, they were called film houses. Those days, if those film houses are being well developed locally, this can also help in boosting our Nigerian economy very fast. So viewers, let's not bore you with all of our explanations on today's episode of the Morning Quiz. So we have this and more coming your way, but first let's go on a quick break. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to the morning cruise. First is the news update. Hello and welcome to the news update. My name is Mimana Bagudu. And on the news update, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has inaugurated ministers who are expected to drive his cabinet, charging them to work to meet the expectations of Nigerians. He noted that the ministers were selected based on personal experience to continue with the work of nation building. Hawa Aliyu Palisa has more details.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu described Nigerians' challenges as very daunting, but noted that government is introducing reforms that will renew hope, which are the objective of selecting them as ministers. He urged them to be mindful of the fact that they are ministers of the Federal Republic and not ministers of regions or states. He said it is all about a great team and believe the country has one now, as they have been called to distinguish themselves. The president pointed out that greatest number of Nigerians are highly expectant, saying Nigerians will hold them account. The event was witnessed by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Speaker of the House of the Representatives, Secretary of the Government of the Federation, George Akume, and Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila. Hawali Alisa, Value Chain TV.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the redeployment of Minister Designate Abubakar Momo from the Federal Ministry of Youth to the Federal Ministry of Niger Delta Development. A statement by Special Advisor to the President, Ajuri Ingelali, said the Federal Ministry of Youth is to be reassigned to a Minister Designate soon. The statement added that ministers designate allocated to the federal ministries of Transportation, Interior and Marine and Blue Economy have been reshuffled as follows. Adeboyega Oyetola is redeployed to the Marine and Blue Economy Ministry, while Bumi Tunji Ojo is redeployed to the Ministry of Interior. Saidu Alikali is redeployed to the Ministry of Transportation. Furthermore, both ministers of state in the oil and gas sector are now domiciled in the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources with the following designations. Senator Henikin Lohobiri is the Minister of State, Oil, Petroleum Resources, while Eperipe Ekpo is the Minister of State, Gas, Petroleum Resources. The statement indicates that President Tinubu approves the renaming of the Federal Ministry of Environment and Ecological Management as the Federal Ministry of Environment. All aforementioned changes take immediate effect by these directives of the President. Meanwhile, mixed reactions trail the appointment of former Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike as Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Speaking to Value Chain TV, some Abuja residents described Wike's appointment as a welcome development, saying his track record of performance as governor is a testimony that more progress and change will come to the FCT during his tenure. There are, however, those who expressed cautious optimism, while others opined that it's going to be business as usual.
What do you have as a citizen of this country to contribute to what the government is doing? In America, you are going to, in Britain, we have been to, in UAE, we have set up structures. You don't go there and castigate or blackmail the government. You contribute your own quotas.
Point of interest is that of the ministers to the FCT, and also the Minister of Information. And you would say quickly that when you are talking about round peg in round holes, that could best describe the choice of those ministers. Over and above that, we expect that they should hit the ground running.
Let's talk about Wike from Rivers State. He's of the PDP man. Politicians will always tell you that he appointed Wike to form government of national unity from the PDP, but that is not the truth. If you follow the political trajectory during the election, you understand how the game played. So it's just political compensation. There is nothing fantastic they are going to perform when people are being compensated, not because of their quality, not because of their competence, not because of their track records.
Mr. Wike is a good man to me, but if you can look at what he has done in Rivers, understand? Mr. Wike I see him doing progress in this Abuja.
Still on the FCT, where the minister Nathan Wike has assumed office with a warning that he will make sure that Abuja's master plan is not distorted. He promised to spare no one or group who consciously or unconsciously alter the master plan.
People who are distorting the master plan of Abuja, too bad. So you can look at refuse everywhere. Those who are paying for refuse collection, what are they doing? So we must also sit down to look at differently ways of waste management or waste disposal. It is very, 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 very key. All those people who are distorting the master plan of Abuja, too bad, too bad. If you know you have built where you're not supposed to build, it will go down. It will go down. Be a minister of anywhere, be an ambassador. If you know you have developed where you're not supposed to develop, your house must go what? Down. Those who have taken over the green areas to build, sorry, our parks must come back. The green areas must come back. If you hate green, you must hate yourself. So if you know you have anybody who is involved that have taken over the green areas, have taken over the parks, to where you now do restaurants, no, we will not accept that. Sorry. If your father has done that, sorry. If your mother has done that, sorry. There's nothing I can do. It will go down. And all these people who are doing land marketing, I'll talk to the staff tomorrow. There are a lot of people are involved. And let me tell you, that period of land marketing is what? Over.
The Economic Community of West African States has rejected Niger junta's 3-year power transition plan. ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, Abdul Fattah Musa, stated these while speaking with newsmen. The report.
The head of the junta, General Abdurrahmani Chiani, on Saturday said he would relinquish power within 3 years and warned that any intervention by foreign forces would not be walk in the park. He stated in a televised address broadcast by Tele Sahel that their ambition is not to confiscate power. He explained that the transition period would not exceed 3 years. Meanwhile, the junta has asked political parties to submit their vision for the transition within 30 days. The junta leader said they are available for any dialogue, provided that it takes into account the aspirations of the people of Niger Republic. He, however, warned that any intervention will open Pandora box and will not be a walk in the park. His warning followed the arrival of an ECOWAS delegation in the country for a final diplomatic push before deciding on military intervention against the junta. Reacting, Musa said that Chiani's proposal was just a smokescreen for dialogue and diplomacy, stressing that ECOWAS will not accept any prolonged transition again in the region. He said they just have to get ready to hand over in the shortest possible time, adding that the military aspect is very much on. In another development, Pro-junta protesters on Sunday took to the streets of Niamey to restate their support for the military takeover of power in Niger Republic. The demonstrators chanted slogans hostile to former colonial power France and West African Regional Bloc, ECOWAS, which is considering a potential military operation to reinstate elected President Mohamed Bazoum if ongoing negotiations with coup leaders fails. Hawa Liub Alisa, Value Chain TV.
And that is all for the news updates on Value Chain TV. My name is Mimuna Bagodu. Thanks for watching.